I just want to give you the step-by-step process of building a wall in Kenya. Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Miano. So today I want to do a video I've been thinking about to do, because so many people have been asking me what's the process of building, what is the cost of building a wall, how can I calculate the cost of building a wall, and how can a fundi not take advantage of me, which is in most cases many people who sema hivyo. So this is a wall that I'm about to finish. I'm here to finish this wall. As you can see, there's still some activities here. You can hear some stuff, but nimekuja ile part at least kumemalizwa, and I won't show every part of this wall because of some privacy reasons. But now I just want to give you the step-by-step process of building a wall in Kenya. That's a stone wall, and in this particular case, an Arugo wall. So in this video, and anyone who is interested to have a written document, I leave a link below of my blog where you can go and get this written document. At least you have an idea. It won't really give you the costing, but I give you an average at the end of the video, but it will detail for you all the processes that you need and the things that you need to be aware when you're building a wall. So let me sit down. So my website is mpesa.com. You can just visit there. It's just a guide on setting up a perimeter wall in Kenya. Number one is site clearance and preparation. This depends na your site. There are sites there they just get flat rod. You see the areas like Joska areas, so many areas by there you get flat rod. But now in such a case like this particular project, we found so many bushes, so many hedges that were existing, and so many trees. As you can hear, up to now there is a power saw at the back. Listen carefully, you can hear the sounds of a power saw. It's because there are so many trees. As you can see, there are so many trees even at the back of here, where we had to cut them down. And there was some mango trees, avocado trees, which are the worst when it comes to all, because an avocado tree overgrows and the roots spread so huge. I remember on the trenches tulipata a very huge avocado tree that tulichimbia, ikabidi pawaso imekuja imekata those roots. Those are the roots, They are no person angejenga. So when it comes to site clearance, this depends, but it's just clearing the site of anything that inaweza zuia. Next, you come and measure and mark where your wall is. Tunatumianga, we use rhyme. Hiyo rhyme tunatumianga, it's for marking and identifying where the trenches will pass through. That is work done by a fundi who is, yani fundi anajua kazi, so si mtu wa mkono na kumakia, because fundi ni ataweza kumark straight lines without curves and all that, and fundi at least anajua Kenya anafanya. So after that you give a fundi and about 2 to 3 guys for the markings. That's if it's a big wall, it's a 1 hour job, ama 2 hours, 3 hours. After the markings, now we do trench diggings. Munaanza kuchimba trench. Hiyo trench ndo sasa you start digging the trench. Now in most cases, I've realized almost everywhere, people when it comes to trenches, people like piecework. What do I mean by piecework? Where it's like you give them a contract and you pay them per feet of digging. Let's assume like this one was over 600 feet. We paid them at an average of 60 shillings per feet per person. 50 to 60 shillings here. But remember, this is red soil. Sometimes you go and fight black soil, wanaanza kulinga. Sometimes you're in Nairobi or other places where the cost for food is much expensive, and this is running. So depending on the place that you are, and the type of soil that you are dealing with, the cost those are the things that will determine how much utalipishwa per foot. And then when you are done with the trenches, you start marking your columns. penye columns itaenda. Whether ni columns za mawe, whether ni columns za chuma, the standard size ama the standard distance we put ni 3 meters ama 10 feet. Some people wanaekanga 12 feet, some people wanaekanga mpaka 15 feet, but the standard where I recommend ni 10 feet ama 3 meters because of, you know, unapata column to spread the weight. Na sasa hii ndo inazuianga. So the columns, as you can see, ni tu vitu unaona hapa, tu runs. For those who don't understand what a column is, it's like you are putting a breaking point to support the wall in future and in case of any earth movements. So you start digging column bases. Column bases ni penye hiyo column itaenda. So after the trench, you dig about a feet or 2 deeper. Naelewa, at least tufikie ama until you get to, especially in black cotton, it's always good to get to the hard ground. Usiache kwa matope. Column ndo ni kama imeshikilia wall. So after that, after you dig the column, unakuja mnafunga chuma. So as the people are digging the trenches and the columns, mafundi, now the fundis can be doing, if you have a site, the fundis now will be watakuwa na kunja chuma, za columns, za column base, everything. So the chuma, the rebars, for the people who don't understand, so hili rebars ni these D10s, these reinforcement bars, ndo watakuja wanze kukunja both for the footing, for the column base, ama footing, for the strip, and also for the column itself. So wafunge hizo chuma na wazieke. Now when both sides, hawa watu wa mkono wakichimba na mafundi wakifunga chuma, when they are done, ndo wanakujanga sasa wana set hizo columns, wanaziset. This is where they come and set up the trenches. These ensure trenches are properly leveled and aligned according to the marked layout. This will provide a solid base for the wall. And then, after setting up the trenches, you bride with concrete. Bride na concrete ni kumwaga a small layer of concrete. And then, please always remember, before umwage concrete, especially in red soil and places where kuna so many termites, some termite infestation, it's always good to incorporate kitu kama gladiator. Nowadays nasikia gladiator imekuwa, but any good anti-termite, go to any hardware, utapata proper anti-termites. Nasialibi gladiator jina, but nimesikia ni kama hiyo kampuni ilifungwa, the one that was selling. If I'm wrong, you mnaweza nikosoa. So you put some anti-termite and then you continue, unaweka kale ka briding. Hiyo briding ni a layer of concrete which should be a minimum of 2 mm. Usieke at 1 mm, just a small layer. Hii ndo sasa utakuja uanze kuweka mawe. You start building your foundation stone. Now for the foundation stone, hapa ndo sasa kuna kuangana noma. So how much should a fundi build per day? For foundation stone, which are the quarry stones, we always ask for a fundi to have a minimum of 100 feet per day. A minimum of 100 feet per day. So this is what I do. Ili kuwa motivate na watu wajitume, unapata kama fundi wangu wanaweza mkata 6. Why? Na wamaliza job 7 ama giza ikiingia. Why? Na bado watafanya kazi mzuri. Na wanaweza fanya hiyo. I give them targets. Naambia wewe ukimaliza 100 feet leo, uendelee ufikisha 200, I give you 2 days, nitakulipa 2 days worth of work. Ukiweza hata kufikisha 250, you get 2 days and a half pay for that. And ni realize with that, people are more motivated na unawapush. So unawashikanisha mtu wa mkono na fundi wanaenda. And then always make sure when you are doing such, you have to have a keen eye. You see this wall, tukijenga, for your information, iliangusha yote. Hii wall tuliangusha like hapa hivi, hapo unaona plaster ni foundation stone, tuliweza kupata foundation stone mob. Tuliangusha hii wall one layer of foundation stone na inda yote ikaanguka yote. Why? Because wako wameka kitu inaitwa, haikuwa straight, haikuwa, yani it was a crooked wall at that time. So always make sure that you have a keen eye, hata ukiwapatia those projection, ama ukuwe na fundi mwenye anakuangalilia the quality of that wall, because then when you go with those targets, ati nimehit target nataka kuongeza hivi nipate mshahara, watu wanaanza ku create shortcuts. So always have a keen eye, make sure that every level akimaliza one level inapimwa and before aendelee next, you see. So always make sure you have a very keen and careful eye on that. So that's just a question. Now when with the 100 feet per day, one fundi and one person, that's hiyo ndo standard. Now when you're done with that, ndo unakujanga mnafanya backfilling, and then remember mtatumia mbao kwa zile, mtafill sasa zile columns with some concrete. Hizi columns zote zifiliwa na mbao, unaweka mbao hii side na hii side. The reason why you don't build the column separately and then unajaza mawe, it's because of cascading. Ukijenga column peke yake inakula mbao mara 4, and ina take more time kufunga, which is okay by the way, sijakasema, but ukishikanisha column na mawe una save mbao na una save time, because now all you have to fill is that gap on there, and then when you are done unakuja unamalizia unapiga plaster. So that's the idea on walls. On houses, build columns separately, but on walls you can combine the walls and the columns. Na sometimes pia kwa manyumba tunajenga columns pamoja na mawe. So then when you are done with that, you come, you do some backfilling, huku unarudisha ile mchanga mlitoa na una compact. Kama ni black soil unatafuta some marram and something hard yenye sasa itajaza hiyo gap at least, because black soil inakuwa na some very funny activities ambayo si poa. So if you are dealing with black soil, you have to find some marram ama some red soil ama some quarry waste ukuje ujaze kwa hizo mitaro. Now after that, after this hapa ndo unakujanga sasa mawe iko juu, quarry stone umepandisha juu either 1 level 2 levels, kama hii tulifikisha almost 5 levels juu. Hapo ndo sasa unakujanga unachukua damp proof membrane. For this case hatukutumia damp proof membrane here because all these is the quarry stone. Darugu imeanza penye unaiona hapa kiiko. So hapo ndo kama iko hapo chini, you put a damp proof membrane to prevent water action kutoka chini, because ndarugu nayo it's a weak stone. Si venye ni strong. Hata mkisikia nikisema ndarugu is still keen, si venye inakwanga ati mawe strong sana. Ikiabsorb maji it tends to have some weaknesses, na it's not good for water absorption. That's why you can't build it on the raw ground place inapata maji. Naelewa? So now with that, ndo sasa unakujanga unaweka hiyo DPM, and then now you start. For ndarugo is much straighter and much easier to build with. The target is always 150 feet a day per fundi with one person. And then kama ni wall kama hii, na distance ya materials iko mbali, hata ile quarry stone unapatianga mafundi wawili, watu 3 wa mkono. Mafundi wawili, watu 3 wa mkono. That's how you do it. And that's hii inakuanga an easier way to, yani inakupatia, because some materials iko mbali. Kama hii site materials iko mbali sana, unapata mchanga iko mbali, so kuna mtu anakuleta na kuna wenye wanawamixia na wakiwapatirishia. So you have to consider the site ama how the site looks like, because not mjengo ni fluid. Si kila kitu nikikusema ati fundi moja anaenda na mtu moja, don't stick to that. It depends on the site and the type of work you are doing. Now after sasa kumaliza hii mawe, umemaliza ndarugo, hapo ndo unakuja unaweka kale coping kajuu. Ako coping ni kama waterproof the wall. Jusima tumesema nini ndarugo ni mbaya. Na haka coping ndo bado tunakuja tunaweka security features. Kama unataka kuweka zile grasses, if you want to put those grasses as a security feature, if you want to put some razor wire, this is where you come and put on top. Now coping, there are many types. Kuna 2 types of coping. Let's get this right. One type of coping tuko nayo ni precast, which unaenda unanunua kapisi kamoja ka 9 kana watu kana ukijenga na mawe ya 9 ni kama 250 at the moment. Ukijenga na mawe 6 unanunua kama 200 in most yards, in most concrete precast yards. Hiyo it's easy to put. Na it's quick and it's cheaper in the long. Na iko very quick and fast. Hapa kwa ikikuja precast, hapa ina work fast. Now, the biggest, not the problem, the difference between hiyo na yenye nimeweka hapa sasa, as you can ona, hii ni ile sasa unakuja, unatafuta chuma, unaweka chuma hapo juu, unakoroga, ni kama kakoroga, ni kama kalimbi, but kalimbi kadogo. It's because I realized the structural integrity of those precast hatukuangi strong sana. Na they don't tend to rust. And then hii juu ina act kama a small beam, inasaidia to strengthen the structural integrity of the wall. This is my opinion. If I'm wrong, someone may correct me or not. But sasa hii ikiwa hivi venye unaiona inakujanga, it takes a lot of time first of all. Kuna siku ya kujenga, kuna siku ya kuweka mbao, kuna siku ya kukoroga. So timber kuweka mbao na ako kachuma kukata, because tunatumianga hii si chain ring, what is this called, mesh wire. We use a mesh wire inakatwa mara 4. So one mesh wire we go about 4 times 8 ni 4 times 32 feet. One mesh wire inaenda about 32 feet. Hiyo mesh wire moja ikienda about 32 to 40 feet itakatwa and then itakorogea. Na before ukoroge lazima uweke mbao za kushikilia hiyo koroga. So ina consume mbao, labor na nini. And then when you are done, you have to do a proper finishing. When unaona ikiwa siku hivyo, when unaona ikiwa na straight line hivyo, ilichukua one fundi 2 sections a day. Unaona kaka section ako between pillars, one fundi 2 sections a day. Kukafanya ni kama molding, it's called molding. Hako ka molding unaona kako straight hivyo, one fundi 2 sections a day, one side. Ukitaka ifanywe the other side, one fundi 1 section a day. Na nikisema one fundi, kumbuka one fundi ubeba mtu wake wa kazi. So uto 2 section tuwili tunakukura 1800 shillings ama 2100 shillings of labor. 1900, not 18, depending on what you pay, because currently si tunalipa 12,700. So inakukura 1900 shillings of labor per day. Yani ka section kamoja, so ka section kamoja ni 900 na nikale tu juu. And then ukumbuke it's double. Kama hii wall iko na almost 40 sections, ilikuwa inakamea 36 sections. No, not 36. Ilikuwa inakuja how many sections? Ilikuwa na almost 40 sections. By then 40 sections. Now imagine all those 40 sections times 900 for labor on one side, and then another 40 sections of labor on the other side, to a point where hatukumaliza, tulimaliza face. Ukienda nyuma hapa venye unaona hiyo inakaa fiti, nyuma tulitoa tu hatukuweka, but almost half of it at the back haikufanya. You see? So it depends, because it's very expensive. Same case, kumaliza wall ama finishing of the wall is very expensive. Hizi key pia they are very expensive. One fundi kama sasa hii for the whole section anachukuanga 2 days. Anachukuanga one fundi anachukua utu 2 section, unaona tunusu tuwili. Unaona tunusu tuwili ndo anachukua per day one fundi. Lakini kama ni plaster, hii plaster fundi alikuwa anachukua 5 sections per day, depending on the type. But nayo plaster inakuja na caveat yake, ni more expensive, inakukula materials. Let's say it goes quicker, inakukula materials. Depending on the preferences of the owner na the design mwenye the owner ulimpatia, hiyo ndo sasa ita determine the end cost. So the owner here decided to do half plaster, half keys, which is good na bado inakaa supu ama ikai poa. So guys, when you're doing that hapo ndo sasa, and then you remember kuna pale kwa zile columns utabakisha pila mbili zikiwa za gate, na hiyo it's always good utumie D12 kwa gate, because D12 is much heavier, or even D16 you can, but a minimum of D12, because D10 D8 hazitaweza kubeba gate unless you are using a very light gate on those columns. So guys, I hope umesoma kitu. I hope you have learned something, and I leave a link. Remember, nitaacha a link of all of these hiyo nini yote on my website, of my website, na uende usome if you want to do it on yourself. Si lazima utuite, but if you feel like you would like our services, Miano Muthii, and my business is Miano Muthii Fencing Services and Construction. We started with fencing, so tunaendelea in construction pole pole, and I will leave the link below of I will leave my contacts below, also a link of my Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikToks. Anywhere unaweza nipatia, unaweza comment, ama tuseme unataka some quotation, nini ni hivyo. So for those who are asking what's the cost of building a perimeter wall in Kenya, currently on red soil work with about 300 per feet, 1 foot work about 300. Ukienda kwa red soil work about 800 per foot. Kama imeisha, kama when you all done without the provision of a gate. Umeelewa? Kama shamba yako ni 50 by 100, that means you work with 50 plus 100 times 2, that's 300 feet. Multiply by 300 or 35 or 3800 depending on the conditions. Kuna red soils by this ziko a bit loose. Hizo nazo you work with about 3500. So depending on the conditions, work with an average of 35. Let's just do this. Work with an average of 3500 per foot. 1 foot. So kama wall yako ni 400 feet, hiyo ni 100 by 100, work with 3500, unapata about 1.4 million Kenya shillings. Hata mimi ukikuja unipatia job, I will calculate with about 3500, but first before I give you the quote, there are some questions I will ask you. Ni wapi? Nijue riba ya mitaro nitalipisha ngapi? Ni mchanga ipi? Nijue chuma tutatumia ngapi? Ama there are ways we can use less chuma, because kuna walls you can't, hazina shortcuts. Kuna places hawezi eka shortcut, ukieka hii shortcut wall inaanguka. So guys, thanks for watching, thanks always for being there na kutupatia motivation, and thanks for everyone mwenye anatupatia jobs. We really appreciate the opportunity na tunaendelea. Thank you and see you next time.